Hello, all you lovely people. Let's get it. Let's talk season 1, episode 2. Apparently, Cody has a cameo on Facebook. I always love when those surface on social media. I have not seen it yet, but I definitely will be checking later. Let's let the room load a little bit, and I will play the little intro from last week. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, no, wait. Do I have it? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. All right. See you in a second.
Sarah!
Prepare. Okay. BRB, people.
Let's go back to the beginning.
My name is Cody Brown, and you've got to meet my family. I'm a polygamist, but we're not the polygamists you think you know. I have 3 awesome wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine. My family's on the verge of a huge change because love should be multiplied, not divided.
Every week, I'm just that song. It gets the blood flowing.
Makes me want to watch The Hills.
Yeah. Well, let's not get that crazy, Sarah. Okay.
What do you guys, James, what do you think about how they originally started the series with the voice narration by Cody? He's kind of like the narrator of the story. They definitely shifted from that. Did you like it?
I didn't start watching the show until much later. So by the time I started watching it, when I went back to see it, it came off creepy. So I didn't really have a fair balance of whether it was okay in the beginning and then it just got creepy. But it kind of goes back to what I was saying. I think it was last week or week before last, the position that I held. That I think that this was supposed to be Cody's show. Like the way Cody is like pushing it out, he's giving a narration in his perspective. Hi, I'm Cody, and these are my wives. Let me introduce you to my lifestyle. It's wonderful. It's great. It's polygamy. Like, and he had a used car sales feel, kind of greasy at the same time. So, yeah.
It's a little Ron Burgundy. Hi.
Right.
I own many leather-bound Mormon books.
Yeah. Yes. I think Cody actually might have some leather-bound books. Amanda, so the OG3 are going baby shopping in the beginning, and I was struck by something Christine said because she said that she needs onesies. This is the 13th kid in the family. How she could want for anything at this point. I mean, stuff definitely gets destroyed with your first one, but I was pretty sure I was one and done. And then surprise, I got pregnant with my son. But I even stored a whole bunch of stuff until I found out I was having a boy. And then I was like, okay, this stuff can go. I was really interested. It seemed to me like they weren't planning, like Christine at least wasn't planning on having more kids. This was a Hail Mary to save the relationship. Did you pick up on that?
Not at all. I just, I don't have kids. I just trusted. I didn't even think about that, honestly. Now that you say it, I wonder too if did the show want her to have a segment, or did she want to just go shopping to get excited? Because Cody, obviously didn't give a crap about truly being born. So somebody's got to get excited. Or she's just like, oh my heck, I'm so excited. I don't know, but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So let's see. Lane, you say at this point, Cody decided not to have more. Then Christine probably decided not to have more. Then Cody guilted Christine to have another. Coffee Buzz says that they have so much stuff stored in their attic. And yeah, see, not that you don't buy anything for your second born. I wore plenty of my brother's hand-me-downs, and there are things in my son's closet that were my daughter's. So that's just how it goes. So it just made me, because there's a 6-year gap. The other thing that we're getting in the beginning here is Cody explaining where everyone falls in the lineage. So I have X amount of kids with Janelle. I have X amount of kids with Mary. I have X amount of kids with Christine. And I think Isabel is 6 years older than Truly. So I really feel like she was probably done having kids.
Well, there was. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, James.
There was one point where when she went in, she said that she had a miscarriage right before Truly. So there might have been a baby in between. I agree with you that I think that that baby was kind of one of them things that Cody was like, okay, yeah. And then he met Robyn. He was like, okay, forget it. I don't care. It's over.
Yeah.
And they had to balance the show out because it really would make Cody look horrible. If he's excited to get in this car and drive 5 hours so he can see his girlfriend and he has a pregnant wife at home. It makes him look terrible. So they give her a segment. I kind of buy into both. I think that it gives him a segment, or at least gives her a segment where they're excited about the baby and talking about the baby. So it looks like it's okay.
True.
And they're fine with it.
Rachel East in the chat said that Christine says in later seasons she didn't plan on Truly. So that's
all of a sudden my mouse isn't working. Hold on, guys.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I imagine that's very plausible that Christine's trying to save the marriage. It's like it happens all the time by having another child. But yeah, Rachel's saying it wasn't planned.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling. I also kind of feel like, I don't know why I'm under this impression that maybe Aspen counseled her to have another baby. I don't know. Did I hear that somewhere? Am I making it up? Anything's possible. I don't know. What I feel like really was made up, though, was Christine's enthusiasm in this opening segment. Truly is not the only thing changing in our family. We're about to add another wife. And I was like, how many times did Christine rehearse this in front of the mirror to try to sell it? And she's like, I'm thrilled.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, I thought it was insane to bring in a fourth wife. And walking off set by the end.
Literally crying in the couch interview.
Yep.
Yeah, through most of them, which is sad. This is the one episode that really shows the disregard that Cody had towards the OG3 to begin with. I think this was the opening door. The first episode is kind of like, hi, I'm Cody. You want to meet my family? Come along with me. They're pretty interesting. By the second one, it was like, forget you women. I got a new thing on the side, and that's my new family. Don't bother me and the kids. And it was that type of vibe the whole way through. So especially looking back on it, is very unsettling because you have everybody looking like a fortune teller. We're going to get replaced. Cody's only going to be interested in dealing with this wife and these kids. And I feel like I'm losing my best friend. These are some of the things that Christine was saying on the couch as she's crying. And Cody could give a damn that she's upset. And in fact, he looks agitated that she's even talking about it. He looks like he's mad at her for even mentioning it, that she might feel out of sorts about the situation.
Yeah. Kelly says, the broke college student life is strong, but the need to support my favorite YouTubers is stronger. Love you guys. Definitely stay in budget, though. College can get away from you real quick.
Yes, we appreciate everything.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate all of the support, you guys. And just being here is just so much support. There's over 800 people right now tuning in across all 3 channels. That's amazing. Rayleigh said it. Couldn't say it better. Cody's a pig. So Mary says that she's always been open to more wives. And Christine, like you said, James, thinks everyone's crazy.
Right.
She says in season 1, episode 2, she doesn't get enough time with Cody.
Right.
And this is pre-Robyn.
Well, because it's that, and I think that, again, that's just Cody being Cody. Because even the comparison between Cody and Robyn and the compatibility, I'll say, between the two is strong because they're both, if you listen to their speech patterns, the way they describe things, both of them always refer things back to themselves and how they feel about things. And it's
Mhm.
always, oh, this is how it's going to affect me. And these women are giving up their husband for me. They prepared their husband for me so that he'll be perfect when I get him. And that those kind of things from Robyn. From Cody, oh yeah, too bad, so sad. Yeah, you're going to hurt some people, but oh well, eggs got to get broke to make omelets. I don't care. I want to be with you. You want to be with me because that's what I want, and that's what makes me feel good. But he doesn't refer to the other wives with any of that consideration.
Nope. Even Robyn is like, oh yeah, plural marriage is gonna rub all my rough spots off and make me a better person. Just constantly so self-involved, which was, by the way, like hilarious. Little did she know, fast forward 13 years, you're the villain. You and Cody are the villains.
You know what's so funny is it seems like the emotional toll. You know how like when you look at pictures of like the president before they go into office and like them coming out of office, it's just like the toll that those 4 to 8 years take on someone. And it's like, whoa, that visual representation is wild. I think the visual representation, it's so funny. And not to bash anyone's looks by all means, but I think we can all agree that Robyn looks just exhausted, like emotionally, like she has been through the ringer. And it seems like you look at where all the Mary, Janelle, and Christine were episode 1, season 1, and where they are now. It's like they've had a glow up post Cody, like dropping that. It's like just releasing all this extra weight. It seems like it really does you emotionally well to leave polygamy.
Right. Well, I think that there's also a point where when you spend most of your time trying to make other people happy, and you're never really sure where you fall in the family, so you're always guessing. That's a huge stressor. And then so for them to let that go, they can actually start to be themselves. That's one of the things that Christine said about David Woolley and her companionship with him is that, or their fellowship with him, is that she has the opportunity to actually be herself. She can state her opinion. If she feels a certain way, she can feel that way. And she doesn't have to pretend to be nice. Whereas Robyn, because of the corner that she painted herself in, she has to always be the fun time, good time, ready to roll wife. And she always has to be suited and booted and ready to have a good time for Cody because that's what Cody expects. The funny part is if she ever does come out and say, you know what, Cody, I don't really feel like going out, or I don't feel like getting dressed up, or, God forbid, I don't feel like spending a whole bunch of money on nothing out of character for both of them, then all of a sudden Cody won't know what to do with her anymore. If she ever becomes that independent, strong woman, Cody won't know what to do with Robyn, which will probably happen around the time he gets served with divorce papers.
I want to talk a little bit of a conspiracy theory for a sec because they discuss Robyn's origin story with the family. So what they tell us is Mary and Cody were at a friend's house and Robyn just so happened to be the cousin of this friend. I guess maybe Robyn was there. Cody spotted her from across the room. Mary said you should ask her to dance because who in their 30s and 40s has like a dance party at their house?
Right.
What Mormon fundamental polygamists gather for like a dance in their 30s and 40s? I found that I have questions there. And you guys let me know if you're familiar with LDS or fundamental polygamy offshoots. Let me know if that's like, oh, that makes total sense. They all gather for dances. But this is my conspiracy theory. I think that because Robyn meets the family months, like less than a year after she finalizes her divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And there had been talks of at first, Cody has said at first they wanted to do like a documentary about their family. This family, Christine had already been on the like polygamy advocacy propaganda campaign, like giving speeches and working with a group to like make polygamy look palatable. I feel like Robyn caught wind that this family was going to land a TV show, and she found a way to put herself in their path. What do you guys think?
I mean, she is the villain, like I said, of the show. So it seems possible. I've heard a lot of stuff. I used to believe that Cody sold the show using Robyn, but now I'm not so. Now lately, I feel like that's been debunked, maybe by you on one of our lives, Sarah.
No, I heard that Christine. I feel like I heard somewhere that the Christine was like the last to sign on, and it was really like if Christine says yes, it's all a go. I feel like I heard that somewhere. Again, I could just be pulling that out of my ass. I have no reference point for that.
Yeah, I wrote something similar in my notes. I was like, do we buy this? That it was random.
Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. Now, was it Robyn's end? Was it their end? Like Texas Gal in the chat is saying, yes, they have dances to meet wives. Is this always a potential setup? Do they go to these parties specifically for this? I definitely don't believe that it's like, they saw each other across the room. Yeah. And then Mary said, yes, I bless you, banging her. Like, no, I don't think so.
I found this comment relatable and says Mormon dances are part of the culture. I've been to a few. You need to be able to fit a Book of Mormon between the dancers. I went to a Lutheran middle school and high school, and there definitely was, all of the dances were heavily monitored by chaperones, and kids were often told to save room for the Holy Spirit and things like that. So some things transcend religions. They want to keep the kids apart.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school. We used to hear save room for the Holy Spirit. Make room for the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Do I think that do I buy the story? No. Absolutely not. I do not buy the story. I think that the story makes their meeting, their courtship, the dating, and then eventual marriage more palatable if one of the wives does it. Because if it's him, like my position is completely different. I don't think that they met at the party at all. I'll take it a step further. I don't think they met at the party at all. I think they knew each other before the party. I think that Cody had talked to Robyn. Maybe he had some connection. Do I think she heard about the show? Absolutely. If she's rolling in these small sects in these small communities, they know that somebody's about to pop off with a show about specifically talking about the community group or organization that you're a part of. I'm sure she heard about it. She wants to be on TV. Hey, I'm attractive. He's attractive. We can make some TV magic. So she arranges it so she can hook up with him. The two of them get together, they get to talking. He says, look, if Mary doesn't know and she's not involved, all he has to do is say, look, here's the things that you need to say to Mary to make Mary start to like you. This is how you come at her. These are some of the things that you can say. Tick these boxes. We'll set it up. You come over to your cousin's house, and then we'll show up for the dance party, get turned up, Mormon style, and that's how we're going to roll through. And then once that starts, they create a secret because the two of them, Robyn has always been that person who wants to have a secret. She always talks about when she got the dress, that was a secret between me and Cody. Y'all wasn't supposed to find out about it. What the baby was going to be when she was pregnant with Solomon. She didn't want to tell anybody whether it was a boy or girl or what she was having. That was a secret. She's always isolated herself away from the family and kept secrets. And then she includes Mary in because for a while, Mary was the only one who had met Robyn. And that was a relationship that she had. And that was a secret because, Mary had even presented, like, I thought she was cool and I thought I was going to have a friend and it was going to be so wonderful. But now we look at it, what kind of friend is Robyn really to Mary?
Never.
And so, it's just weird that it started out. All of a sudden, this woman is willing to share her husband with you and her kids. And now all of a sudden, she can't get a call back.
Secrets don't make friends.
And thank you so much for the super chat. Lori says, I love you three separately and together. Terrific work. I look forward to your videos each day. Thank you so much, Lori. Jennifer, thank you so much. I suspected Robyn caters to Cody when she wants to. She seems to rule the roost. She certainly does. Tiffany, thank you. A family member of her ex-husband said that Robyn knew they were starting the show before she met Cody. She asked to be introduced. According to them, I feel like wherever that came from, that kind of lends validity to my conspiracy theory. So I'll accept that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing she says in this episode is she like basically admits like, I'm really looking forward to all the childcare I'm about to get. And so
yeah.
it's not that far of a jump to be like, and all the money they're going to get from this show. So y'all have convinced me. I absolutely think she like was like, cha-ching, let me go show my diesel jeans butt to Cody
Right.
and squeeze into this family.
That is actually the perfect segue, Amanda, because the next segment of the show that I wanted to talk to you guys about was, so Cody is packing up, getting ready to leave. Too bad, so sad for his like entire family that's going to be away from him for the weekend. But he takes Aspen and Madison with him so that he says so they can acclimate to Robyn and her kids, like slowly blend the families. Oh, and yeah, Robyn and I want to go out, so they're going to babysit.
How convenient.
Right.
Yeah, and then they arrive and like she's like, oh, they're going to go to bed in half an hour. Like, oh yeah, they're getting a lot of bonding time here.
It takes me a minimum of an hour and a half to do the entire nighttime routine with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know any. Brianna was 5. So maybe Dayton, I could see Dayton like just doing his thing, doing the routine and going to bed. But Aurora and Brianna look like they were going to be trouble going with their nighttime routines.
Brianna's going to run out the front door like, no, I'm not going to bed.
Yeah, I don't buy for
Right.
a second those kids go down in a half an hour.
Well, because my whole thing was, as I was watching it, I guess it's good to go back and do the rewatches, because when I was watching it, the thing that occurred to me was something very close to what you had said, the whole bonding experience for Robyn and her kids to be blended into the family. Wouldn't it have made more sense for Robyn to come to Utah to spend time with the OG3, those kids, with her kids, and then she could have went out with Cody and they could have had their evening out, they could have had their date night, but it would have given the family more opportunity to get to know the kids that they're bringing into the family, because you want these kids to get comfortable with the whole idea or whole notion that they're going to be part of this big, huge organism, which is the Brown family.
Yeah.
But instead of that, you had Cody, who basically, whether through Cody or whether through Robyn, has systematically isolated that family, we'll call them the Sullivans, but the Brown family away from Robyn's family. They've never really truly been united as a one unit family. There's always been a barrier or something between them. And so it made more sense, especially with Christine pregnant as all get out. Like, why don't you come down to us and we can all hang out? That way everybody can enjoy everybody. The wives can get to know you and you can hang out with them. You can have a wife day and I'll take the kids. Sight, Cody's never taken all them kids.
Since we're doing the rewatch, we will come to season 6 where Cody does watch it. That's what precedes Truly's kidney debacle. And he basically, if I remember correctly, grilled a whole bunch of meat on like Friday night, and then like Aspen had to take care of everything else. Yeah.
Well, he burnt the hell out of meat. He made charcoal, is what
that
he
was
did.
some char grilled chicken. Mace has something to say. Let me stop you right there. You want sense when no sense exists. We are talking about Cody Brown. People in my comments are constantly telling me, Sarah, you think too hard about this stuff. You're trying to rationalize with the irrational. It literally is like banging our heads against the wall.
No, listen,
Right.
Mace,
Yeah.
Sarah, it makes total sense, okay? How's Robyn gonna give him her special on her knees prayer time in the car in Lehigh when their neighbors could be next to them watching. The neighbors are going to report back to the OGs. Like, so it makes
Right.
sense. Okay. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, could you see little Gabe come out there just banging on the window, looking at
Yes.
what you doing, Daddy?
The fact
Why is
that
he kidding?
there were more than like 5 kids born in this family, how they ever could manage. And that someone posted, I think I saw it in Reddit, the like birthdays of all of them. I mean, the first 12, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like
Right.
within, I mean, we see with Gabe and Gwen within days, within months, within weeks of each other. These women were, what do they call them? Brood mares. That's such a crass term, but that is what these women were.
Yeah, and that's how they treated them too. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's insanity. Insanity. Beck, thank you so much. This trio is what I didn't know I needed in my life. Thanks from Australia. Thanks for tuning in from Australia for the laughs and insight. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed with your channel, but Sister Wives is popular in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the
Yeah,
UK.
I even have a few people from Ireland and some different places. So you around the UK. So yeah.
It's a
Apparently
fact.
they digging it. They're like, oh, those crazy Americans.
Right? Like, what are they getting into over there?
Right. We all don't live like this. We don't think like this. It's ridiculous.
So this is the first courtship that they've had in 16 years, and this is a big deal. Like, Cody is out of practice, and I'm like, none of your other courtships looked like this. You didn't give 2 craps about any of the other courtships. I'm not quite sure about Married. That was like a 6-month courtship. He tells us on the show, and Christine tells us on the show how miserable their wedding day was. There had to have been drama surrounding Janelle marrying into the family because she was Mary's ex-sister-in-law. I just can't imagine there wasn't drama about that. So this being giddy about seeing someone, that just didn't happen with Cody any of the other times.
And there's a sadness though, because like I see patterns and parallels. The sadness is that, like you talked about when he was packing, right? And his giddy, like, oh, I'm going to go see Robyn. Help me pack it. Help me, Daddy, pack so he can go see his girlfriend. Awesome. Like, it's just weird and unsettling. But if you notice that the 2 kids who were helping him pack it was Savannah and Gabe. And those are actually the 2 kids who are in the last, almost full circle. Those are the 2 kids he had, basically went at the hardest in these last couple seasons. So it's kind of weird to watch it, but it's also a little sad when you take it in the perspective of the damage that he wrought to these young ones.
Definitely. I would have such, leaving your kids to do anything like beyond like dropping them off at school, like an extent. I remember my husband a few months ago when I was in my 3rd trimester with my son, went out of town to visit a friend, like a childhood friend's sick father. And he was just gone for the weekend. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this on my own. Never leave me again. Like, not only did Cody dip out on 12 kids, but he also, like he was contributing much anyways, but he was taking away 2 of the biggest helpers, Madison and Aspen, leaving Christine even more.
No.
He took 2 babysitters for 3 kids.
Yes. Excellent point, James. Excellent point. I didn't even think about that.
Did you see how exasperated Robyn was in that scene where Brianna runs away? Like, she is like, I cannot wait to pawn these kids up on my sister wives. Like, so excited to pawn the kids up. I'm sure Cody was like, we better make sure we're not getting any interruptions tonight. I'm going to bring 2 kids.
Yeah, because they, nothing precedes sexy time quite like hot chocolate and Mexican food.
Right.
Mm.
And two things you
Everyone,
probably don't
nature's
want to do.
aphrodisiac.
Right. Those are rookie mistakes. Don't do that.
What? But
Like
when
guatemala
you're not
sauce.
consuming alcohol or anything, I guess that is wild and crazy. Hot
Right.
chocolate, woo!
We don't know what they were drinking in them hot. It might have been hot toddies.
That's true. So, Christine, let's talk about Christine in this episode, because her misery, it was actually at points uncomfortable for me to watch. I was like, I never felt like that, when the show first aired and I saw these, I witnessed all of the same things. I witnessed Cody saying, Robyn feels bad about hurting the wives, but they're just going to have to deal with it. I, for 4 seasons, I was like, this guy's a great guy. Oh my God.
Dude, he was like, oh, I'm worried that my, her worrying about hurting the sister wives will affect my pursuit of Robyn. I can't have anything affecting my pursuit of Robyn.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive my wives if they ruin this.
Right.
Type of thing. But Christine, so she, in one scene, she's like, and truly is not the only thing that's changing in this family, blah, blah, blah. And we're so happy. And then it's like she's crying throughout all of the interview, saying things like, when I first learned about Robyn, I hated the idea. I didn't know her. I thought this was a terrible idea. She says other things like, I felt like I was losing my best friend. It's like she was saying all the things, and Cody, it was just like in one ear and out the other, if it even went in one ear.
Yeah, and I agree. It is uncomfortable, especially when she's like, well, that's nice when they do. Well, is that the next episode when we talk about the dress? That's later in the season. I'm getting my clips mixed up. But I actually felt her getting upset. I was like, oh, for me, this is the beginning of connecting with Christine because she's being so vulnerable. And I thought everybody else, Christine at the beginning of the episode was towing the party line, but then she just gets real and she's upset and she's saying it all like Janelle and Mary ain't doing that. Robyn's not doing that. So I really connect with Christine this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would just add this one point. I think that they started out and they were supposed to, toe the line and how great polygamy is and how wonderful it is bringing other women into the family. Bringing other women into your bedroom. It's great. It's easy to do. Everyone can do it. But she was so affected by what was happening as far as the transition of her family, losing, the little hold that she thought she had on Cody and feeling that kind of slip away in the separation. His involvement with Robyn and his obsession with Robyn to the point where this dude is just crying because he can't be with Robyn. I'm sitting here with you and I should be with Robyn. You taking my Robyn time. And he's losing a lot of that. So I think it started to become too much for her. And she started to, if she was an actor, like she's breaking character. Like she's supposed to be the happy, doting wife, but now she's breaking character and actually letting some of her truth slip through. And I think that when we saw her crying and she was upset, that was her truth actually coming out. Like I'm horrified. Like this is scary because she didn't know what was going to happen. She didn't know what impact Robyn was going to have on the family. And in the long and short term of it, she really didn't know, because it's easy when we look back on it, like, 18 seasons. Yeah. At the time, this show was a complete experiment. This could have been a 1-season done job. And she would have brought this other person into her family and potentially destroyed her family, because these guys, when they leave, in the real world, when they leave, the wives don't have, like, each of them have their own house and their own business. Usually when they leave, they take all the money and property and stuff with them, or they put the wives out. And the wives have to try to figure it out for themselves. So she might have been sitting there thinking, like, I'm about to lose my husband, my household, and everything, trying to give into this woman.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I wanted to talk. I'm so glad. Sarcasm for Fun, one of our wonderful moderators, makes an excellent point. Did you see Janelle Tell kind of warn strongly, kind of stared him down, really, Cody that he needed to be fair with his time. Yeah, she said it. What she said with her words was a compliment. Like, Cody is fair with his time, but the way her mannerisms was definitely like it was a warning. Like, kind of what I tell my daughter, like, do that one more time.
Exactly.
And you're not going to like what
Exactly.
like, Cody, you're always fair with your time. Or I'm going to talk about it.
It was a mom's way of saying it. Like, that's the mom and Janelle, like, look, we going to go in the store and nobody going to ask me for nothing.
Yeah.
It's more of a statement. Like,
I definitely had that talk given to me many times. Like in the grocery store, I always wanted the weirdest stuff, like a pack of gum, like Tic Tacs. I just needed something, and my mom's like, "No, like we're going in for chicken, and we're not getting anything else."
I know what I'm getting. I don't need no suggestions.
Okay, so Amanda, Cody says that he struggles initially, but everybody's struggling because they're afraid. Do you think the OG3 are afraid, or do they think that they just see the inequality from the start?
Both? I mean, Christine's definitely afraid. She's like every 10 minutes or so, she's like, voicing. She's like, I didn't want the fourth. That's what, I'm getting some of my episodes mixed up because I was actually watching the look backs and the talk backs today. But anyways, yeah, they're definitely also just seeing Cody do his version of fall in love for the first time and appropriately responding to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy birthday to Donna Miller. Donna is also my mother's name, so you're obviously super cool. Happy birthday, Donna.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Woo.
Thank you, Jenny P, for the super sticker. You guys are all so amazing. So, Amanda, let me get your take, and then James, let me get your take.
Mm-hmm.
This just floored me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The whole Cody saying, he's in his white Lexus, that even though Robyn says that he doesn't want to hurt the women, there's just no way around it.
Right.
There is a way around it, right? Like, don't do it. I don't know. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah, that part was really interesting, isn't it? Like, it's like, they're gonna get hurt. They deserve to get hurt. This is my trophy wife. I can't remember. Was it Mary? No, Mary gets offended when she's called the trophy wife. But yeah, it's for me, you don't have to hurt them part is like, he didn't have to bring Robyn in, and I think you didn't have to bring a whole younger wife in after all this time, but he's going to do it because he wants to do it. And there was, when he said the thing I mentioned about how like, oh, I can't let anything affect my pursuit of Robyn, it reminded me of in the last season or 2 seasons ago when he says, it was a flashback of 2 seasons ago when he says, oh, this family is getting in the way of my goals. I'm viewing this family as an obstacle to my goals. He is so selfish. And so of course he has no problem with the OGs getting hurt, because it's like, well, I'm not the one getting hurt. I'm getting my diesel jeans model. So like, problem.
What do you think, James?
Well, I agree with Amanda. I think that it goes along with, as long as I'm getting what I want, I don't care how it affects you people. I'm getting the woman that I want to be with. She's attractive. I think she's hot. She's fun. You guys aren't. So as long as I'm getting what I want, you want to sit in your room and cry, that's fine. Just make sure my breakfast is made. Don't bother me with your problems. And that's kind of the attitude he walked into it with. One of the things that I would say, this is a guy who wouldn't do polygamy because I have enough white hair. I think that when push comes out and shove, the thing that he would have to do in my machinations, again, I've never done it. He would have to be able to make his wives feel secure. The way you get around or sidestep the issue that you would have with bringing a new woman into a relationship would be to make the women that you have currently feel secure in their situation, and they feel the confidence that their situation isn't going to change by you adding somebody else. That's the only way it could work. Now, how you do that is kind of like the part where you're working with Mercury, but that's what he didn't try to do that at all. Like Christine, like as you guys have both said throughout this, Christine didn't feel comfortable. So she was never going to be okay with you bringing a wife in, which was going to cause problems for your relationship later on. And the fact that these guys, they say they live polygamy, they know people who do polygamy, and they're successful at it so much so they want to be the spokespeople for it. I know that. I know that you got to make her feel okay. She's got to feel like her situation is going to change. Her kids aren't going to be neglected. She's not going to be replaced. That's what she said. I'm being replaced. She has to feel like she's not being replaced. Nobody wants to feel. Hell, if you work a job and they hire somebody else and they come to you and say, Amanda, Sarah, train this new person how you do your job. Like, no, you know what I mean? And stop messing up. You know what I mean? I don't feel comfortable in my job anymore. Now I'm more scared. I'm so scared I'm not doing my job. I'm so scared I can't exist in this space anymore. And I think that that's where Christine was. And again, this is like the tragic part of the show, because you know, as much as they try to roll it out as this is a positive thing and everybody's excited about this new person coming in, you look at it like, damn, Christine is sitting there. She's horrified because she sees it coming. Janelle, forgive me, but you seemed a little oblivious as to what was going on. Like everything is going to be okay. We just go through a rough spot and it's going to work itself out because I'm all Team Brown, and Team Brown ran her over. You know what I mean? She's the only one that really played by the rules, did everything you were supposed to do, and she got screwed. She walked away with nothing, lit in her pocket. So.
It has been a while since I have seen Big Love, but do we think that they had a vote for Robyn like in Big Love, or was it more like Cody kind of bulldozing them with the news?
I mean, was it this episode where she said we all at some point in the series, Christine says Cody wouldn't have gotten with her unless he got all of our approval. And I don't buy it. I never buy it when they get on this narrative of like, no, everybody was on board. He wouldn't have done it if everyone. I just don't buy it at all.
Yeah.
No.
They
could have voted, but their vote wouldn't have mattered.
Right. It's like they know how they should vote, and it's whatever Cody wants, right?
Yep.
Teresa points out, so Cody was wearing the ring during these episodes. Super sleuth. Did he melt it down before or after the Cody and Robyn commitment ceremony? When did the ring melting happen? What ring did he melt? Does he have like multiple rings? He had a band when he married Mary. Then at one point, did he get his own Claudia ring? Does he have multiple rings to melt?
Whatever the case. Oh, go ahead, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. From what I understand, both Mary and Christine had said it was after the wedding, after he got with Robyn or whatever. I don't know if it was before or after the wedding. But the collateral ring, I thought, at least was my understanding, he had received that later.
Oh,
like that was a way that they had united the family because he melted the damn ring.
Oh yeah, they went shopping for one for him?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was in an episode.
Honestly, I don't know how Mary gets over that ever. Like that is a fuck you if I've ever seen one, right? Like.
No. Yeah.
You can't,
well, you know what?
Can't really spell it out any clearer than that.
The craziest thing to me is that, like, keeping in mind where they were financially. Like, they weren't going to Jacobs, Jewels by Jacobs, the guy that do all the rappers' jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
They went probably like a Walmart or a Target, picked up like a $200 ring, if that, to put a wedding band on his finger. Now, for him to take and like set up an appointment where he walks into a jeweler and says, yeah, I want you to melt this ring down. Like, there's not enough gold in here to make it worthwhile. I don't care. I will pay. You know what I mean? Like, that's commitment. That's the level of commitment to destroy this wedding band in this union for you to go back. And who says that? Like, you could have just took the thing off, put it in the drawer, and just been done with it, or launched it across the street.
Yeah. Or the fact that Mary has a child that Mary could have, gifted the ring to. But he turns it into jewelry for one of Robyn's girls.
Right.
It's like messed up on so many levels.
Right.
Yeah, and we see in this episode that he is all gung-ho to give Robyn a special string ring that he makes sure we know, Maddie, who, this isn't, my kids love this. All the kids love this. They made a ring for me, a string ring. I'm like, what is that? What did you do? It was just like a string. How do you make a string? I don't know. I guess she bought it. Like,
yeah. Was it a piece of yarn, woven into a ring or something? Or there's this breakfast restaurant that we go to where for kids, they have these I think they're called wiki sticks, but they're wax. They're thin wax sticks. And you can mold them into little string people and stuff. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. But I also, the way I interpreted what he was saying was that he was walking by, saw Madison making a craft and was like, hey, give me that. I'm going to give it to Robyn.
Right. That's Robyn's ring.
Yeah.
That'll be cute.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He did say he did that.
Butter Beanhead, I love your username. Does anyone else suspect like I do? I think Cody is out courting another woman just like he did Robyn, because Robyn says he is not at her house. And Mary lied about where Cody was going until, and I didn't hear part of that. I'm so sorry.
You're leaving us hanging, Butterbean. Sarah.
Sorry. It's lost to the ages. McKelty does such a good job in her Patreon of acknowledging every single comment. I really give her even the ones, and a lot of them are not so complimentary of her parents, and she will read them. So, but Cody has talked about at different times that they were courting. He even said in this episode that they had a couple courtships fall through prior to Robyn. I've watched a couple YouTubers because there's other YouTubers besides us, you guys.
No.
I'm kidding.
Don't tell the viewers.
So I always love when my For You page, a new creator pops up. I love listening to what other people have to say. And someone was commenting that, has the lifestyle really left Cody or something like that? He's not monogamous by choice, right? Would he, if a new Robyn caught his eye, could he be swayed into taking on another wife? And I think, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think, James?
Well, I think it's interesting that, if you listen to what he says, on Mormonism Live, when he did that podcast, as well as other interviews, when he does some of the tell-alls or the confessionals, he'll say things to the effect of, as a man, we have natural desires to go after women. It's built into our nature that we see a pretty girl and then all of a sudden we turn our heads and we have to go after her. Mm-hmm. And you overlap that with his comment about the tell-all where he says, I would get with another woman and tell her that I don't love you. I only love Robyn. And I think about that and I say, that sounds like something that a guy who is cheating on his wife might say to a mistress or the side chick who he doesn't want her to have any confusion. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not leaving my home, and I'm not abandoning my family. I'm just coming by, dipping my toes in a little bit of strange, and then I'm going home. You understand what I mean? And so I can see a scenario where he's, out there carousing and doing things and talking to people and associating with folks, but he's just not bringing them home to be his wife or an additional person. Because it's one of the faults that's built into that relationship or that type of relationship. If you are used to messing with other people, this is where you kind of fall into the trap. If you're in a mistress and you start dating the person who you're cheating with, they've never been with just you. So I've never experienced me and you all by ourselves. I've always had somebody else. So if I had that other person and that other person is gone, I am looking for somebody else to spend time with because you're just not, that's not how our relationship works.
Absolutely. Amanda, I want to get your take on this because I really feel like this isn't talked about enough because we've especially talked in season 18 about the fact that the kids, like the OG 12 at the time, were sat down, told to shut up, accept this. This is what's happening, whether you like it or not. I couldn't help but notice, and I had forgotten that Dayton's 9, Aurora's 7, Brianna's 5. They are months after, like mere months after their parents get divorced. I can only imagine the way Robyn has described her previous marriage, that it was not a stable living situation for them. And then they are thrust into all of this TV, a new dad, all these new siblings, new moms. I like, what, like, do we talk enough about what a huge life change this was for them, Amanda?
No, and that's where we always kind of clarify, love the OGs, even though, they weren't they weren't perfect parents. We have to excuse the chaos all of these adult cast members, all 5 of them, threw their children into. And, for Robyn, like, if we're right, and she was plotting to to put your children on TV, to disrupt their lives once more, and in the most disruptive way possible, like you're thrown into, this isn't the Brady Bunch. This is like the Brady Brunch on, a speedball. Like, you are she's clearly just thinking about herself, and, she wants to live a nicer lifestyle. I agree. We probably don't talk enough because we're so swept up into the drama of the adults. We don't talk enough about how, and also because the kids have turned out so well, maybe we still don't really know how Robyn's kids are going to turn out. Cause even though they've like aged, they still seem like, little kids. They're all still with her on her property. The OG's kids have turned out amazing. So I think we forget, and we don't talk about it quite as much as we probably should.
Yeah, James. So Robyn says of Dayton that he's unsure of everything, as any logical 9-year-old would be. Aurora's super happy. She just wants to start planning a wedding with her mom. And Brianna is shy, but happy about it as well. Your thoughts?
Right. Well, I think that's kind of an important point that to be honest with you, I never really considered it. But the fact that the separation or the divorce happened so quickly, there is a mirror to that too. The fact that the divorce happened so quickly and they were so easily able to transfer over into having this man come over and start spending the weekend. You know what I mean? So that kind of speaks a little bit to where they were, maybe what kind of situation she was living under. And the other part of that is that if you look at what Cody had to say when he started talking about the divorce and the prospect that somebody else might be around his kids, when he was sitting there with Christine in season 17, and he had started talking about how some guy's going to come in and he's going to all of a sudden sweep into the family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That could be a direct portion of him remembering what happened when he came into Robyn's life. Right after she got divorced, no sooner than she was divorced, the ink was still wet on the paperwork when she started talking to Cody and took up with Cody, and they started moving towards getting married. And if we keep it all the way a stack, there's 2 reasons why it took them so long to get married and their courting was so long. First was because of the distance. The second was because they were trying to get the wedding on the show. So had it not been for the show and had it not been for the distance, they very well could have been married within 2 or 3 months of knowing each other. And he would have been Papa Cody to her young kids while their father is still walking around. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how it's going to affect them later on.
Tiffany points out James is our relationship expert. I always say if it doesn't pass the smell test with James, like if he susses out the bullshit, Like, I know that this is not
Something's
right.
going on. Yeah.
I'll
you
have
so
like
much,
an inkling or something, and I'm like, I need James to tell me that if this is BS, straight up BS. Amanda, can we talk about Robyn's bold meal choice of a grande burrito with extra queso when we know full well, I don't know, they're going to go pray
Right.
in the car later? Not
Right.
the first choice I would make.
They said
Yeah.
mistakes were made.
They're doing like a prayer Madonna style.
Right. Can I get the extra Guatemala sauce, please? Like, what are you doing to yourself? You know what you're gonna be doing later. Stop it.
Extra
Cody-
spicy quesadilla.
Yeah, right.
Talking about that car come season 18 when they're trying to sell it and they're loading it in a U-Haul.
Right.
And he's like, Robyn's like, I fell in love with that car or in that car. And I'm like, we know, Robyn.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're calling it. That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Are the first episodes 30 minutes? If so, until when? I don't know until when, but yeah, if you're watching it on Max, it's a quick 20 minutes with with no commercials. So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that was back before they knew the show would work. So they were just like, I'm not putting a whole lot into this.
Yeah. Oh, good point, Sally. She can eat a grande burrito, but Christine can't eat nachos. I mean, the injustice.
Double standard. Maybe if Christine had modeled more diesel jeans for Cody, he would excuse her nacho eating.
I feel like I could 100% be classier at eating a plate of nachos than a grande burrito covered in queso. There's no way I could do that clean. Like, it would just be on my fingers, on my face, like it falling out of my mouth, probably. I could scoop and eat. I could do that cute. I could make it cute.
Right.
Plus, like that chocolate queso burp coming up while they're having their prayer time. Not hot. Not gonna be sexy.
For a kiss, and you just
Yummy. Like a sequel to our dinner.
Yes. So the other thing I noticed, because, you know, when you go back and do your umpteenth rewatch, you start paying attention to the minutia and like all the kind of scandals that have been talked about later on in the series. So something they talk about in season 18 during Aurora's ear piercing extravaganza is that Robyn came into the family, like Janelle and Christine and Robyn all had pierced ears prior to marrying Cody, but they agreed to give up their affinity for ear piercings in order to be with Cody. And Robyn points out specifically that she made it like a compromise. She will give up wearing earrings if Cody isn't such an asshole about the holidays. So I noticed that in every scene she is wearing gold hoops in this second episode. So when did she make that compromise? I can't wait to notice if ever the earrings fall off.
Right. Well, you know, I kind of suspected it might have been because at that time, at least this is my impression. From that time, it just seems like she didn't have a whole lot of interaction with other wives. So she might have been able to get away with it before they get married. But then as they're moving towards like getting married and actually uniting the families, she starts negotiating. And that's actually one of the weird things too, is that when you look at the relationship, because later on down the line, Christine makes the reference that Robyn, you came in and you're so strong with Cody, you disagree with Cody, and I didn't realize you could do that, is what Christine said. I didn't realize you could disagree with Cody and everything would be okay. You're the first wife I've seen do that. And that just talks about, or at least speaks on, the relationship and power dynamic that Robyn has with Cody versus the other OG3 wives. Like, she has that power play. Like, look, if you don't, when they were doing Easter, they also talked about Easter. We celebrate Easter. I don't believe in Easter. Easter's a pagan holiday. Well, I'll go take my kids to go see my mother, and we'll celebrate Easter. No, baby, don't go. Come back. We'll celebrate. Girls, go get the Easter eggs. Start hiding them around the yard. They're doing all the Easter stuff. So she just has that power over Cody because Cody wants to be in that relationship. It's the same reason why she can sit there and eat a grande burrito with extra sauce and cheese and all kinds of stuff. She eating off her shirt, and Cody's amazing. She's wonderful. And Christine sits there and eats some nachos and offers him some, and he's completely disgusted. It's not what she's doing, it's who's doing it. And I think that's where it kind of falls at.
Blackout actually, she said everything about Robyn is transactional, and that my next note, and I wanted to pose this question to you, Amanda, is I'm already annoyed by Robyn. This was like 15 minutes into the episode, the first episode that she appears in. What did you think of Cody's emotional, lovesick revelation that he broke down on Christine's bed? Like he didn't know what was happening to him. Like feelings were taking over. What are your thoughts?
I mean, well, of course, we're now rewatching this in the context of Christine in season 18 telling us, oh gosh, he broke down in tears, and she like brings it back up in terms of that was like one of her lowest moments in the family or the marriage, and so it's really pathetic on a rewatch. And also the idea of Christine, who is getting replaced, as she calls out, having to watch him cry because he's experiencing love, retroactively, he's going to say for the first time, like it's like hard, it's disgusting. It's pathetic. I say this, I feel like every week, but like, so I'm just like, this is not romantic, Cody. This is not, paint this feeling about, like, this is, you are going after a younger woman, and you're leaving your pregnant wife at home, and you're taking as we discussed earlier, you're not having her come, like James said, you're going to her so you can be alone, so nobody in Lehigh sees you having your special prayer time in the car. And so it's just pathetic.
Right.
Well,
you know what?
Go ahead. I was just going to say,
okay. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I think that when you look at that scene, one of the things that really affects me as I watch that scene, I'm not only looking at Christine and feeling that heartbreak from her, but if you look at Mary, when he's telling that story, she's looking down at her shoes the entire time. That's breaking her heart too. And this is supposed to be the one who's so excited and so amazed at how wonderful their relationship is going to be because she was so excited to bring this new woman in. Even she is starting to feel it. And Janelle, she puts on the brave face, but there's a couple moments where it cracks on her and you can see the smile fade off, but she has that smile that, everybody's smiling. You sitting there, you know what I mean? She has one of those looks on her face. And it is problematic. And just sit there, the cruelty of it is to sit there and listen to somebody whom you're in a relationship with. And we didn't know it at the time, but he knew it and Christine knew it. You knew your relationship was struggling. And yet and still you sat there and cried openly. You remember weeping and it makes you weep. The sad part, like we talked about it last night during my live, shameless plug, but we talked about it last night. And one of the crazy things is there's only been a couple times that Cody has cried on this show. When he was talking and remembering about Robyn, as we talked about on the couch. We also talked about when he was talking about his friend Brett, and Brett came to the wedding, and when he went to leave, I missed my friend. But there were times that Cody didn't cry. When Truly was sick, and remember when Christine was talking about how the doctors came and said Truly ain't gonna make it, and she might be in trouble and she might die, she breaks down. Like sis broke down, like they cars used to do on the highway. She broke all the way down. Cody sat there, and I had a picture that I used where he's just sitting there like, I don't even want to hear this. You know what I mean? He doesn't cry about his daughter. If anything, that remembering that should have broke him down. Not remembering how you couldn't, hang out in the Lexus with the top down and get your prayer time in. That should have made you cry. It shouldn't have.
If somebody comes in late and doesn't know what prayer time means, they're going to be like, wow, Amanda and James and Sarah were really dogging prayer tonight.
They must not like religion.
We talk about prayer too much.
This is church, and we have prayer time. Okay.
Right. Whereas Cody would say, losing my religion is my song.
Ayo.
Eh.
Rebecca, thank you so much. I'm still salty that TLC canceled My 5 Wives. If y'all haven't watched it, you should compare and contrast Cody and Brady. Love you guys. I saw some comments in the chat saying there was some sort of scandal maybe with them, like adjacent, like scandal adjacent. Maybe not them specifically, but even I watched Seeking Sister Wife, and the Winders from the first couple seasons of Seeking Sister Wife seemed to live up to the principle, if you will, a lot more than Cody has ever tried. Like, Cody just never tried, in my opinion.
Right. Well, Cody, he just seems like he was the guy who had the benefit of having a religion or a religious experience that allowed him to do the thing that he wanted to do anyway. So it kind of gave him permission to be able to step out on his wives. And I'm just doing it because I'm a sanctified soul. Like, no, you're doing it because you just enjoy going out with chicks. And it's such a visceral thing for the way he approaches it. Because it's not like he's dating ladies or I'm going out and I'm spending time with these young women. No, to him it's like, oh, I'm just a hip dude and I'm dating chicks. And that's how he treated Robyn. That's how he treated, even now when he talks about it, her being hot, her being good looking, her being a former Diesel Jean model, all these guys trying to talk to her and date her because she was so good looking and she was such a catch, but she chose me. Like, what are you talking about? This is your wife now. So it's just weird. It's a weird situation with that.
Definitely. Oh, so wonderful moderator. I felt awful for Christine and she's about to give birth and she was high risk too. He had sympathy or excitement for Truly coming. It killed me. I know. I feel like Truly absolutely got lost in the shuffle, but Truly was the only birth we saw except for Ariella and Solomon. I can't imagine there was much pomp and circumstance surrounding Gabe when 4 days later Gwen arrives. I don't know. Like, was it a big to-do? Leon, Aspen, and McKelty are like 2 to 3 months apart. Like, they're so close in age. So did any of these kids get their moment in the spotlight ever?
No, not when there's a million of them.
Yeah. It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm one of two. I'm second born. I'm the only girl. I've had plenty of attention. It would be such a bummer. When I went hard on Cody for not calling Gabe, forgetting his birthday, or he called Gabe but didn't remember it was his birthday. And people were telling me, my dad forgot my birthday one year, whatever. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, growing up, my grandmother in the bathroom, hanging right above the toilet, was a calendar with all of the important days. The Catholic religious calendar, like all the things were on there, and everyone's birthday was on there. So it's like not hard. And like, my grandma was born in the 30s and she managed to not miss people's birthdays. Like, it's not that hard, right? I don't know.
Well, especially we also have to take into account that we now have Facebook and social media who will remind you of even people that you like, a kid in high school that you might have talked to 3 times, but you happen to be Facebook friends. Like, hey, happy birthday, Charlie. Hope you have a wonderful day, because the Facebook app reminded you. So he forgot his son's birthday. And it's not just the fact that he forgot his son's birthday. The surrounding factor of that is that he forgot his son along the way, because he wasn't trying to stay in touch with him. He was icing him out because he was so focused on the family that he wanted to be with that he forgot about the other family that he had. And I think that that's what because he could have forgot a birthday. If he was, because especially the way them boys ride for him, Quasi kept them boys adore him and they look up to him. And that's the part that hurts when you watch it, is that you realize that these boys desperately want to have a relationship with Cody, and he could care less that they want to have a relationship with him. If you guys don't want to come by and kiss both sides of Robyn's ass, then I don't want nothing to do with you. You know, and it's ridiculous.
Jennifer says, if someone told me my husband was lovesick and in tears, not to be insensitive, I'd call that a red flag. I don't want my man to be a bigger baby than me. My husband's actually like an emotional guy. Like he will get emotional. But if my husband was breaking down because he like had feelings and didn't understand what like romantic feelings meant, there would be a whole slew of problems we'd have. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Amanda, what would you do?
I was just going to say,
like, I am lovesick.
I mean, if it was for some other lady, I think I would be like,
we'd have issues.
We're done. Yeah. Now that we're talking about this, it makes me think like it is very nonsensical, and like Cody tends to put on a show on the show, so maybe he also did in real life. But I like the devil in me, the devil's advocate in me is like wondering, like, is he crying because he's like, oh, I have to share my time with these other women. I just want to be with Robyn now. Because like when you first meet somebody, all you want to do. I never wanted to be exclusive with my wife. Like I was like in my mid-20s, I was like ready to party and like not, but I fell in love and I was like, there's no point. Nobody else is going to be fun to date. If Cody was, I'm wondering if like part of him crying is like, and he's like, oh, Christine, you're reminding me that I'm married to you.
Right.
I think so. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think that when he cries, it's not because he's so in love with Robyn, but he realizes that he doesn't feel the same way about the women that he's actually made a life with, and he's committed to. And at this time, as you guys have mentioned, all the kids are young. So if he ever were like right now, oh, I just want to be with Robyn, so we'll separate. I'm gonna drive you all the way, and I can just be with Robyn. And the only one I have to really worry about is Truly. If he would have walked out at that time, his pockets would have been destroyed. The women would have ran him out of, you know what I mean? Like they would have ran him out on the rail. He would have went to the first day in child support court. They would have locked him up for not paying the child support. Like there's no way you're catching up. Like you ain't never catching up to this bill that we're about to hit you with. So we just gonna put you in jail right away so you can start serving time. Because he's in so much, like he had a lot of kids. Like Hobo had a lot of young kids at the time. Like I think all the kids were minors. Even Logan was a minor at the time. Like his whole brood was a huge child support bill. So I think that like the realization that he kind of trapped himself into these relationships is what bothered him more than anything else. And again, it's sad that he's coming to that realization. You know, it is what it is. The heart's going to do what the heart's going to do. But for these women to have to tolerate it, put on a strong face, and if they question whether this is the right move, they question whether he should be allowed to do this, then he's just going to hit them with you guys should know what the religion is. Stop being selfish. Stop being jealous. Be sweet. Pray. Whatever you got to do. Enjoy your sacred loneliness. And let me get on the road because I got 4 hours before I go see my boo. You know what I mean? Or my honey bun, whatever he called. So it's just ridiculous to me. Like it's crazy.
Yep. I wanted to discuss this. Lauren says, you would think if this is such a great way of life that at least one of their children would have chosen to live plural marriage, but not a one have chosen it.
Nope.
I mean,
we still got Robyn's kids.
And I'm so nervous because I feel like eventually as the seasons go on, if the seasons go on beyond 19 and 20, Robyn, like if Cody and Robyn are still a part of the show, and if Robyn's kids are still living there, they're gonna have to address like all of the failure to thriving and all of that, you know? And what's interesting is I've heard like some conspiracies that so Dayton's living in a trailer on or an RV on the property. I don't know if he's still living in it, but he was when season 17 was filmed. Cody said during the season 17 tell-alls that those of Robyn's kids who didn't want to abide by the rules were told they couldn't live there anymore. But the only one that's not living in the house is Dayton. So I take that to mean Dayton. But he's not literally even off the property. So what kind of like push and pull is happening over Dayton? I'm so scared for him because I feel like he wants to spread his wings, but Robyn has a chokehold on him.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true, if the theories that they moved to Flagstaff for Dayton are true, then it does mean that she quite literally followed him to where he would be going to school. And I understand, he's on the spectrum, and so he has maybe some different needs, and she's like taking that into consideration, which I have always appreciated Robyn taking that serious.
Yeah.
But like you said, like, is there going to be a failure to thrive situation here? I don't know. But when you said we're going to have to watch it, I thought, no, we're not. We're not going to, like, they don't have to do anything they don't want to do. And it seems like they have the producers a little bit like wrapped around their fingers, their prayer fingers. And I don't know. I would love to see more of Robyn's kids if they're okay with it. Like, I never want any of the children to have to be on.
Right.
Especially,
it feels lucky for anyone to feel that their participation is compulsory in any way. What I meant to say is that Cody and Robyn are going to have to address either they're still living in the house but not participating in the show. What's up with that? They what is going on? Because Janelle, Mary, and Christine all give us updates whether their kids are participating in it or not on what's going on with their kids. Janelle will be like, oh, I'm going to North Carolina, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I guess also we follow the kids on social media. So we know via social media what's going on with a lot of them. But Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna are also like not active on social media whatsoever. I think Aurora and Brianna have like Pinterest boards, and that's basically it.
Right.
So,
right.
But yeah, I completely agree with you, Amanda, that it feels yucky if they feel like part of me felt like that with the ear piercing scene. Like, Aurora, did you want to participate in that? You allowed yourself to think for yourself? What does that even mean? Sorry for cutting you off, James.
No. It's one of the things that kind of strikes me is that, well, first and foremost, like I don't want any. It's always kind of a shame when in these reality situations where you have the kids have to do something, because if they don't do it, how are you going to shoot a family show, a reality show? You don't have a family. So I feel that. But on the other side of it, the only thing that would concern me about Robyn with her personality type is that they have a feeling, or at least the image that I get from watching the show, is that Robyn has a need to feel loved and to feel centered with whoever she deals with, especially when it comes to her children, which would explain why she didn't want to have her kids watched by Christine, because she didn't want to have her children gather or hover around another woman or another adult and see that adult as an equal parent. It's one thing for you to kind of be the aunt or uncle who comes and hangs out and is cool. It's another thing for you to be another parent. And so she isolates her kids, and that's the feeling I get. She may be isolating her kids, which doesn't necessarily, I understand in some respects, it can help somebody who is on the spectrum with keeping schedules, keeping normalcy, keeping confidence, and keeping stability in their lives so that they can move forward. But it doesn't help them if you overcompensate for it and you block them off from opportunities where they have more chances to interact with different folks. because you're doing it for a selfish reason. You're not protecting them because you want to keep them safe and secure. You're keeping them separate because you want to save them for yourself, which is problematic for me. And and I would hate to think that as much as she's done, I would hate to think that she would do that to her kids, but it's possible.
Definitely. Cody says at the end of the dinner with Robyn that he's like caught the love bug, that he's never been so romantic, and that no self-respecting man would ever admit that.
I'm a manly man.
Can I say right off, as a representative of the man contingent, look, I wish this dude would stop saying what men would do. Stop saying what men would do. Say what you would do. This is what you would do. You feel embarrassed about being romantic with your lady. I'm not embarrassed about being romantic. I'm not embarrassed about taking time and taking other people into consideration if you're in a relationship with them. There's nothing wrong with that, you ass. There's nothing wrong. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. I just wish you would do it with the other 3 women that you said you wanted to be married to. How about that? Don't just save it all for the road trip. Take that show home and spread the love around.
James, as a lesbian, I gotta say, like, you are like, yes, men can be good. They're not all like Cody. Like, I love that you're on here saying, like, no, I'm totally fine expressing my emotions. That doesn't make you less manly.
Right. It's like the first of many, like, just Cody, shut up, man.
Right. What are you talking about?
And I can hear the collective cry from men saying, "Don't speak for us." Like,
right. We don't think that. Nobody thinks that. Only you think that. Why is this okay? Why did they put you on TV? Got us all looking bad. Like, you know what I mean? I wonder how many guys, when this show first aired, like how many guys would go home and they would have to deal with their wife after they watched this show and have the Cody argument. You know what I mean? Like Cody that messed up, and now you all of a sudden, this is what you men think. No, baby, it ain't me. This that jackass you want. All right, nothing to do with that.
Jennifer says, crying out of regret just makes him a big asshole. Yep.
Ding ding.
True.
No lies detected. Sarcasm for fun. I think if there are B-Day announcements in the live, we should get you all, or just James, in song, celebrate like it's Robert's B-Day and force a party. Well, I mean, we're not going to let Miss Donna hang. I'm down to sing a happy birthday. Are you guys down to sing some happy birthday?
100.
So if you are born in January, because next time we meet, we'll cover February, but this goes out to Miss Donna and all the January birthdays. Happy birthday
to you.
Yes, James.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anna, and everybody else who was born in January.
Happy
birthday to you. You gotta do the shimmy and the shake with
I liked the harmony. Go high note, that upper register. Yes.
Yeah, but we aren't gonna be selling out any music halls anytime soon.
Right.
You know what?
Be killing karaoke though.
You know what though? We could join Aurora and the Pussycats and her band. The rest is still unwritten. You know,
the rest.
Wait, Aurora has a band?
No, it's just from season. Oh. What was it? Where Isabel's going away party, her birthday / what's that going away party?
Oh, Me and James haven't seen it yet because they don't have it anymore, do they? I don't think I've ever seen that episode. I've only heard about it.
Oh, did it get copyright stricken?
As of the last couple of years, it has. Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen it. Like when she gets up with the guitar at the
I haven't.
The going away party. Yeah. Ooh. TLC. I'm glad it happened to you. Could happen to nicer folks. And now you know how it feels. Shoes with another foot, Jack.
How does it feel, TLC?
Yeah, right. Stays burns, don't
Happy
it?
belated birthday, Carla.
Okay.
You might all want to practice that. Truer
How dare
words
you?
have never been spoken.
How dare you? Now I'm changing my mind. We were amazing.
We are remote. We are technical difficulties. The Kremlin,
Right.
all that,
Yeah,
you know. But let me see. Hold on. So overall, how scale of 1 to 10, Amanda, what would you rate this episode?
I gotta be honest. I thought it was a 10, like maybe a 9 if I want to leave myself some room. I thought it was an amazing episode. Christine is crying on camera, getting super vulnerable. Cody and Robyn in the hot chocolate date at the Mexican restaurant. I mean, just there's so many things in there I forgot. Robyn being exasperated. Robyn, like Cody ends the episode by saying, I am in love with Robyn and it doesn't diminish my love for the other wives. I'm in love with them. And we obviously he's literally going to say the mirrored opposite of that all these years later. So I mean, 9 or 10, 9.5.
All right. You guys, we are getting roasted. Hold on.
How dare you, Patsy?
Nobody ever mentioned birthdays again. You guys this is all well deserved. Jay,
I don't mind the honesty.
We love honest feedback. Constructive criticism. Don't be too cruel. James, scale from 1 to 10.
I would give it a solid. Well, I do like the vulnerability aspect. The 9. I like the dual nature of it. It does reveal the dishonesty from the family, though, early on, and that's one of the things that's kind of a drawback for me is that they weren't being honest. One of the things that did kind of strike me is that, like I said, I really started watching them seriously around season 16. And so I was like, wow, Christine, I'm glad she found her voice. But when you go back to the earlier episodes, what you notice is that Christine has always had her voice. She just wasn't as strong with her voice. And more to the point, people weren't listening to her when she was saying it. She was a kid screaming in the well. Like, things are happening. Things are going on. You need to pay attention. There are problems. And everybody around her just ignored her and just dismissed her as though what she was saying wasn't relevant or valid. So I thought that dynamic was very interesting because, like I said, she had been saying from episode 1, like, this is not good. I feel like I'm being replaced. I feel like he's spending a lot of time with her. I want him to spend more time with me. That's been a consistent theme throughout the series, even up until the time they broke up. Well, Christine wanted something the rest of the wives wasn't getting, like more time. You mean like weekends that you were spending in another state? Like, you know what I mean? So I mean, I do think it was a good episode. I think it was a good episode.
I think we
What
can
did you
wrap.
think?
Oh, for me, it was a 9. I'll like Amanda, you said, I'll give myself some room to grow because I know that there's some good ones coming. But this was a fantastic episode, so revealing. The second episode, what I still, as I'm doing this rewatch, and I'm actually, instead of just having it on as background noise, I'm actually like watching the show to like take notes and everything, is just how much it was all laid out. It was all laid out. And I saw a comment. It was like, Christine's been telling us, we all just ignored her. I'm like, it's sad but true. Sad but true. I see some 8s, some 9s, some 10s in the chat. This was a good episode. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, you guys. 21 minutes on Max. I can do that.
Yeah, it's over very fast.
Yeah, that's a commitment I can make. Well, you guys, I think we'll wrap up here for tonight, but we will be back here next Monday, season 1, episode 3. And I think that this first season's only like a 7 or 8 episode season. So
right.
And we got
wedding.
It's gonna be, there's some good stuff coming.
Well, you also got the dress.
Yeah, no, season 1, I think almost every episode is pretty, like the pilot's a little like cardboardy, but the if my memory of my rewatch serves me, like every episode is pretty meaty, like
Yeah.
pretty delicious.
Yes. Yeah, there's some good drama. Yeah, the dress debacle we got some good stuff. We got some. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my 9 cuz I got to reserve my 10. I know some
Right.
10s are coming. All right, you guys, have a good one, and we all will see you in our next respective videos. Bye.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.